Yeah, morning. You're welcome to the Daily Digest with Jimi Disu. And today is Thursday. And today is the 1st of June. And like I said, I'm not a Happy New Month person. I don't know where that I don't know where that phenomenon came from. I'm not a Happy New Month person, but it's always glad to see a new day. Anyway, that much I acknowledge, especially with the times that we're in. Okay, so I want us to have a discussion this morning, devoid of political leanings. Let's just have a full discussion on. Now, I need to craft the subject very well. Yes, we'll talk about the fuel subsidy. We'll talk about how you feel it might affect you. We'll talk about what are the things that you think can alleviate the effects. Because I'll be very honest and blunt with you. I'll be straight up. Some jobs are on the line as we speak. With this, it's inevitable anyway. Let me first of all say that I think we all agreed that the subsidy had to go. My own quarrel is the manner in which we are handling it, as usual, in a knee-jerk manner. And this is not an indictment of anybody, but it's just the Nigerian way of doing things. We always do things knee-jerk. Most of us, we always do things knee-jerk. We fail to plan, and sometimes we then plan to fail. But we hope we'll get by this one now. That I believe could have been handled at the very least in a more humane manner. Because at the end of the day, all these subsidy things, we are not talking about figures. We are talking about human beings. And for me, every human life on the face of this earth matters. And to bring it down, every Nigerian life should matter to those who govern us. So, but I'd like our discussion to be devoid of politics. I want us to have a clear discussion about how you feel you might be affected. Of course, the cost of a lot of things has gone up. So most people will be asking for increase in salaries. But the question you then ask yourself is, can the business accommodate the increase in that salary? It's a bit of a catch-22 situation. I mean, so if you have a restaurant and you have waiters, for example, so if you've been selling food at 1,500, but you now have to increase the salaries of your waiters and your guard outside, can you increase your food to 2,500 when your clients who come have not even have their own salaries increased? I'm worried more for those at the lower rung of the ladder, those who, especially those in employment, at the lower rung, they're very vulnerable now as we speak. So the discussion we'll be having is how would you, as an individual, have wanted this thing handled? How would you have wanted it handled? I tell you, I would have wanted it handled in this manner. The president has said he's going to remove the subsidy. I agree with him. I'd have felt a bit more comfortable if it took time, albeit a day or two, to settle down on the job. Because look, knowledge you have outside government is different from knowledge that you will see inside government. I mean, that goes without saying. And therefore, we need, if we're given that kind of responsibility, or the nation has bestowed responsibility like that, we need to be very careful. And what we are told as parents, as children growing up at the native level, is that when a chicken or a fowl gets to a new place, it stands with one leg. I've not really seen that. I've heard that times to that number, but I have not really seen it. But I've been told that is what happens. Anyway, we are where we are now. So what is the way forward? The Labour are supposed to be negotiating, with government, the same old system, insisting that government go back. It's as if there's a written template. He first of all insists that they should go back to the status quo. They won't do that. They will appeal to you. And then at the end of the day, after going back and forth and raising people's whatever, you will come up with a -5 kobo or -2 kobo agreement, and then you would be asking yourself, what was all this about in the first place? But meanwhile, I can tell you this: investigation has shown that a lot of people are licking their wounds, even in the industry. I've heard people, you know, I've heard people cast aspersions on marketers, and I just laugh. Marketers are not into. They are not NGOs. They're business concerns. They're not NGOs. They're not government agencies. The reason why they are marketers is to make profit, to make money. And everybody who sells a product, you can ask him. Everybody who sells a product is always mindful of what we call restocking. The margins that you make on most things that are sold, the margins that you make are not as much as people would imagine. Do you margins that you imagine? Yeah, it's so you have to be very careful. You have to hedge. I just got information this morning that some importer of fuel has had to be kept at bay, can't port, and so is paying demurrage, and has now been given an extra bill, to pay before he can, bank, before he can, bank and expunge his products. These are the kind of things that people face that some of us are not paying attention to. So in this scenario, to a large extent, I don't blame any marketer. The marketers that increased their prices before the president resumed have now been justified, because in one fell swoop, subsidy is gone, and they found themselves in the dark. We must have a different attitude to how we do things in this country. We must have a different attitude. Babangida did the same thing in '85. Woke up one day and said he had devalued the currency and threw everybody into confusion that I don't think we ever got out of. We must learn to be systematic and plan. Look back and forth that, okay, if we remove this subsidy, what are we going to be doing to alleviate the sufferings of the people? Because there will be suffering. We don't just say we have removed it and then start walking backwards. By which time it becomes an anticlimax. If you are going to give people a bitter pill to swallow, you must sweeten it up for them. They're human beings. And their lives matter, their egos matter. It's like when you want to give a kid quinine, you first of all put something sweet in the spoon, then you chuck it with the quinine. You understand? So we need to learn to do these things. But unfortunately, I think a lot of our leaders put politics above humanity. And that is where part of the problem is. We need to be careful. I understand the president is in a big hurry to do the things that he said he was going to do. He has a lot of anxiety and is willing to do them very quickly. But that's the job of having advisors. Tell him, Organo, let us slow down. Let's do it this way and do it that way. Okay? So I will open up our lines. Like I said, let's stick to the subject. I don't want this thing politicized. I think the argument for the political side of things is far gone. Majority have agreed that the subsidy should be taken away. What we now need to do is, one, when you call in, highlight how you think it will affect you, so that the voices up there will know. Maybe one or two of you, what you would say would make them have a rethink, not necessarily about whether to have the subsidy, but in the manner in which to carry it out. So let's try and get ourselves out of this political whatever. I don't have time to go back. I'm not in that frame of mind this morning, after I've been told how much it will cost me to fill my tank. One of these days I'll tell you a story of what I did that made me, this morning I refused to shave, because when I looked at myself in the mirror, I wasn't too happy. I felt I was looking at a completely stupid man for one thing that I did in recent times that is now backfiring on me in this petroleum area. But I can assure you it's not a pleasant thing. But I quite understand that these things have to be done. It's been done in other countries. It's been done, but it's done in a very humane manner that, at least you feel respected. and you feel that somebody has considered your own plight. Let me pick the first caller. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Morning.
This call calling from Ijigo.
Yes.
Yeah, my brother, you have said it all. I think these have been the issue we have been facing, and sometimes these people just have to take a politics first before they suffer of Nigerians. This is not only on this issue of petroleum. This has been happening in a lot of areas.
Yes.
These people don't usually think of the promises, what they're going to pass through. I am into maritime. I'm not trying to divert, but I'm into maritime industry. This issue has been generally killing Nigerians. So these people don't think of us first. What is the alternative? How are we going to manage these people? I can remember during Jonathan, I'm not trying to be, because as we said before, everybody's in support of removing the subsidy, because I know what is happening in that places, because it's part of maritime industry. I know a lot of things have been going on that issue. But during the Jonathan time, I remember when something happened. I think Jonathan ban rice during the Ukojiwala, whatever, and so some months he later didn't begin to fall back on people. He decided to, stop issue of protection of rice and all that stuff. Then he gave a waiver then to many companies like Bua, Flaming, to bring the soil to us. A lot of things happen. Then the Minister of Agriculture, who is the director of African Bank Development Bank currently, I have forgotten his name, bring in a suggestion of encouraging people to invest in agriculture. Then before the banning of the rice and all that stuff. All this plan was working until when the new government took over. And all this thing was swept away. And they go back to ban the same thing. The structure that these people bring out on the ground was cut off. Even, let me shock you, the government even go after people that the former government have given waiver during the economic meltdown to force them to pay that the same amount. That's one of the things that affected a lot of companies like Honeywell, Flour Mills, Standard Flour Mills. This thing fall back the same to promises because they sack a lot of taxes for workers.
Okay, thank you very much, sir.
All right.
Thank you. I understand what he's saying. I said this yesterday. I'll repeat it for those who didn't hear. I was involved in setting up a flour mill somewhere in the north in '83. And I remember that because my side was, of course, to handle the publicity, the publicity side. And about a week to when we were almost ready to commission, we woke up one day at 7 o'clock to the news that the importation of flour had been banned. And that was the end of Solomon Grundy. That was the end of that exercise in that sense. Everybody now had to go scattering around what else to do, and because without wheat, how do you create flour and so on and so forth? Yet you had the flour mill on. I mean, so these things are, this knee-jerk way that we do our things. We must really, really consider the human angle side of it, which to me is the most important. But I appreciate your contribution, the last caller. So let's go on to the next. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Morning.
Yeah, I'm adding this to your program.
That line is not clear. Please, I say that when you do call from a quiet place and don't use your speaker phone. Okay, just put the phone right to your mouth and don't call from a tiled, like a toilet or kitchen that is tiled to the top. You'll have the kind of echo that we had. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Morning.
I said, my name is Jordan from Isolo.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Almost everybody is in support of this fuel subsidy thing.
Yes.
But I think we need to be talking to ourselves as Nigerians. There's a lot of things that we are doing that are not right.
Yes.
For instance, we are living in Surulere, you are going to Victoria to make your hair as a woman. you're living in Surulere, you are taking your children to school. All those things need to be looked into. You have to, whatever you are doing now, make sure it's within your area. That is part of the adjustment we need to go through. And we need to be talking to our people. You are in the traffic jam, you are wasting a lot of fuel because you are transporting children to schools that are so far away from where you are living, or your market is so far away, or where you worship is so far away. Even school timetable, we need to change. Even in offices, for those low-catered workers, maybe they have to be coming on alternate days just to reduce the cost of transportation. Most people who spend their days on the road, especially men who are always out of the house, maybe they should make them to be sitting at home because they need to look at so many factors. We need a change of mindset.
Okay,
that's my take on this. Thank you very much.
Okay, one of the men, I'll pass the message on to them that they should stay at home. Well, madam, they won't stay at home. They will look for one in the neighborhood. You probably find them going to the next street. I think I appreciate what you said, madam, but I think it's deeper than that. It's deeper than taking children to school. Most of the people who take children to school, you're talking about either they can afford it or if you like, put fuel at 1,000 naira, they still do it, or it's passed on to their company or whatever. We are talking of the one that affects real life situations of Nigerians. Those are the lower rung. And I'm glad that, yes, you acknowledge the fact that we all agree that the subsidy should go. I don't know if we agreed about how far. I still need somebody to advise me on whether we could, for example, have done a graded withdrawal. I'm trying to negotiate with somebody who knows his onions about this. I'm trying to talk to Mr. Peterside to see if I can get him on my program so that he can educate us. I need somebody like that who, with a very clear mind, can tell us what we're doing right or wrong. And like I said, it's not a political thing. It's not to indict anybody. There's a fire burning in the president that he needs to express, and I can jolly well say, but we also need to tell him that, see, Oga, we understand all that, but I don't think we'd have lost anything if we had been a bit more systemic about it. But thank you very much for your contribution. So let's take the next one. Hello, good morning.
Uncle Jimmy, good morning.
Morning, sir. Who's calling?
I'm very sad this morning.
Who is calling now?
My name is Ajibola. I'm calling from Apapa right now. I'm going to work.
Yeah, going to work.
I just bought 35 liters of petrol for over 17,000 naira this morning. And that saddens me. What has saddened me the more is that I was just reading through the news this morning again, and I saw that the naira has been officially devaluated to 630 naira. That means that all of us who have been saving our money in naira have lost about 45% of our savings, our hard-earned savings. Wow. So the remaining 55% of our hard-earned savings is what we are going to be using to buy petrol at 480 naira per liter. That's even if you're in Lagos. So, I sit down. I made a terrible mistake of coming back to Nigeria. I used to live in Germany and I came back after COVID. And I think that ever since I returned back to Nigeria, I've regretted coming back every single day. Every single moment. I've regretted coming to Nigeria. That's my ground. I was reading to the point. I just want to say, have a good morning. I'm really sad.
All right. No, we will. I understand this frustration, but I don't think we should let it come to that, and I don't think it will ever come to that. That is the essence of a democracy anyway. If you're not happy with what the government is doing, when it's election time, you will vote them out. I don't think we need to throw the country into confusion. I don't think that is right. Because at the end of the day, it will even make it worse. Make it much, much worse. 9:23. I got to take a short break. When I come back, we'll continue with this, so don't go away.
Don't touch that dial. Daily Digest returns in a moment.
We report, you decide. Topical conversations that matter to you.
There are people for personal, religious, whatever reasons who do not want to take a vaccine. And I think they have the right.
For news, sports, and talk that you can relate.
If I told you now to come and buy a Shebi for 20,000 naira, that you would quickly get that money out. But if I told you to come and do a health check and you should put down 20,000 naira, you probably would say it's very, very expensive.
That's too much now.
Why should I go and dash one doctor? And because people are not paying attention, people are therefore getting sicker and sicker.
99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
Every morning is an opportunity to take your hustle to the next level. So, start every day with a great tasting cup of Nescafe 3-in-1. Just add water and enjoy the blend of coffee, creamer, and sugar with that rich, creamy taste you love. To help you start strong and make every morning count. Start strong, finish strong. Nescafe.
Hey guys, this is Pato Rankin, and I'm here to tell you that Konga Media Shopping Festival is here with amazing deals at unbeatable prices. It's like Black Friday in June. From the 1st to the 30th of June, you will get unbelievable discounts online or in any Konga store nationwide, and also enjoy guaranteed same-day delivery for your items on Konga Now. If you need genuine product on a budget, then jump on the Konga Media Shopping Festival. It's gonna be lit. I don't drop update for now, so go run them now.
Konga, the e-commerce group you trust.
Colors, they add meaning to our lives. From birth and naming of a child.
May your life be rich and potent as the red palm oil.
Colors tell of the feelings in our hearts. Through rainbow-like roses or even bubbly emojis. Colors speak of our distinctive ancestry through the shade of our skin. Colors are in the bright garbs we wear to impress, or the deluxe coat we give our buildings.
Wow, this is so beautiful.
And with our proudly Nigerian deluxe paints now available in any color, express your world however you want it. Visit a Deluxe Color Center to get any color instantly.
Deluxe, let's color.
Then say health now wealth, but when person they arrange in health, can't lose one hand, one leg. Abi na when you dey hospital, they can't tell you say you must drop heavy money first before they even think of to begin any treatment.
But when Avon HMO Tandagidigba with you, you no go dey shout yekba, cause last, now all of us need people. Visit avonhealthcare.com now to get Avon Health Plan for you and your people.
Avon HMO, empowering you to live a healthier, fuller life.
Moves must be made. My people just to work hard. Dreams and challenges motivate us. But sometimes, when the journey gets tiring, all we need is something to push our limits.
Reactor Energy Drink. What you need to push your limits. Push your limits.
We're back.
We're back.
We are back. Welcome back.
Welcome back.
This is Daily Digest with Jimi Disu.
Yeah, okay, so we're welcome back to the Daily Digest with Jimi Disu. Sorry, I was reading one message was of interest to me. Somebody here is suggesting that subsidy was supposed to end in June. The Buhari administration said, okay, that Tinubu should have waited till July when Dangote refinery would have taken care of some of the supply requirements. Something at the back of my mind tells me that the Dangote refinery itself might not be fully operational till the end of the year. There's something that gives me the feeling that, the commissioning was hurried so that it would be President Buhari that would handle it. I don't think they are quite ready. Because usually when you want to commission a facility like that, it would virtually be up and running. Such that even the visitors who would come for such commissioning would be taken around to see the place in operation. That's, the commissionings I've taken part in of factories and whatever. Usually you're up and running for about 2-3 weeks and then you commission. But that didn't happen there. We were given a July date, but I really don't think anything will happen until the end of the year, and definitely I'm sure we couldn't have waited that long, to be clear. That is my opinion. I don't think we could have waited that long, especially with a bit of uncertainty we wouldn't have. But even within what we want to do, is the optics. You see, the thing about life sometimes is that between the optics and the reality, sometimes there's a very thin margin. Even if you're making it up, appearing to get ready, and so people will be psychologically ready. Okay, people will have time to plan. You understand what I'm saying? And they will feel good, because at the end of the day, what is governance all about? Making your people feel good, making them feel happy, making them feel recognized, making them realize that even though at a time of a campaign, you got close to them, you were asking for their votes, you ate corn on the road, you rode the Okada, you do this, you do that, you are close to them in reality. These little things matter. These little things matter, especially in a democracy. Let me quickly again say what I said on Tuesday, that when the president said subsidy is gone, it was ad-libbing, it wasn't in his speech. And I think he wanted to emphasize, I think he just wanted to emphasize that, look, this thing is gone. But now he realized that as president, there are certain things that you need to be careful of. You will notice, for example, sometimes when I say some things, I'll quickly add, oh, it's a joke. Because I've discovered that some people are not as cynical as I am. So people can't read in between the lines some of these things that we say. You must know your society very well. That's one thing I'm sure the president will get to learn these days. But it would help also if he had a running appointed group of advisors now. But again, like I told Sheriff this morning, unfortunately, appointing advisors is not as easy as that. It's not like, as I say, by word of mouth. You don't want to appoint somebody today and tomorrow you say, oh no, that's not it again. That won't be good. So they have to go through clearance. I think they go through security clearance. I don't know if they go through tax clearance and all these things. But I do appreciate also that it's not that easy for you to appoint, or at least announce your appointments within such a short time. I think he should have tarried a while, let himself settle down. Let's pick another line. Hello, good morning. Hello, morning. Morning.
Good morning, Uncle Jimmy.
Morning.
Yes, sir. My name is Dan Baba.
Yes.
First of all, Uncle Jimmy, I think Mr. Tinubu is under pressure.
Okay.
And he wants to impress the ordinary Nigerians. Because don't forget that his party was in power for 8 years.
Yes.
And we all feel the pain. And we can all agree that his party failed.
Yes.
So that alone put him under pressure. And he knows. Then secondly, we all know how he emerged as the president of Nigeria. He himself knows that a lot of people are not happy with him.
Yes.
We want to do some things for people to fall in love with him and his government. Again, I advise the government to improve on issue of power. Because I've said that a lot of people you see at the petrol station with 1 liter, 5 liter today, if there is light, they have no business be at the petrol station.
Yeah.
If there is light, a welder or a fashion designer, for instance, can do his job without fuel. What we have today, you have light now, the next thing, the light is gone. You're looking for a way to on your generator.
Yeah.
And also the labor, to try and negotiate with the government. The government need to invest, put money on transportation, like railway system, also improve in security. Because in Lagos, for instance, there are places you should trek to your work, but there's no walkway. Look at the market women, everybody. You can't even walk our walkway. You can't even ride bicycle in Lagos. Those are the things that government should look into to ease this hardship that is coming. Because whether you like it or not, subsidy is gone. Thank you.
All right. Okay, let's take the next caller, please.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, this is Pastor Ladipo.
Yes.
I'm calling from Morilego.
Yes.
Uncle Jimmy, first and foremost, I want to say that is there anything that the commonest of the common person in Nigeria is enjoying other than this subsidy? Uncle Jimmy, you must understand, we all must agree that we are the one that has the so-called fuel. We are the one that go and get it. At the same time, we export it then we bring it back. We know all this process, but the only process we don't know is the process of who and who is receiving this money, so-called subsidy. Now, they are taking it away. Let me tell you, sir, where this thing will affect us. Go and check all the artisans. Everything will skyrocket. That is where the thing will start from. And if it starts from them, how are we going to overcome? So a lot of people will be out of job, out of business. So for me, what I feel that the president should have done, first and foremost, sit down, relax, negotiate. In his speech, he said something, sir, that he will not rule over us. He will rule with us, that he will discuss in dialogue. But in this case, he didn't do that. See, there are only two classes of Nigeria today. The rich and the poor. No more middle class. That is just the reality. Thank you and God bless Nigeria.
All right. I think I have learned over time that during campaigns, politicians will say anything. And therefore, you need to think critically before you make a decision as to whether to vote for them or not. So the fact that he said this and that, he would not rule, he would not consult and so on and so forth, it's very, very difficult for you to take, take them up and hold them responsible to that. The pattern is a Nigerian problem, though. It's not peculiar to him. We've done quite a number of things. For example, if you're called upon to supply plates, okay, you're called upon. Look, Pastor Ladipo, come and supply us plates and so on and so forth. There's a tendency for you to think, okay, so you get the plates at 10 naira per plate, just for argument purposes. There's a tendency for you to think that, if I give them this plate at 18 naira with 8 naira markup for delivery and so on and so forth, which is what you really should do. But then you'll be asking yourself, and you took a loan, no? You'll be asking yourself, when am I going to get paid? I know people who have done government jobs and were never paid for any concrete reason, including sometimes at state level. You'll be hearing something like, it was the past governor that gave you that contract. This governor is only going to pay the contracts and things like that. We do a lot of things in a lopsided manner. Look at some of our elites. The houses that they are going to live in will be well built. All the materials and everything. Once they're building a house to be given out to tenants, forget it. Check out all the buildings that have gone down. I don't think I've heard of any personal house. This is what you call mansions. I don't think I've heard of any that has actually come down. It's always those that are. So it's a Nigerian thingy. We are disorganized people, and we are not getting any better. We are not getting any better, and we seem to thrive on things like that. First of all, creating confusion, and then looking for a way to solve it, and in doing so, you don't want to know the rest of that. Let me pick another call. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Morning.
Hello, good morning. Is that Uncle Jimmy?
Yes, who's speaking?
Yeah, you have analyzed something very important that is a Nigeria thing. And that means we are not able to make use of the education we have received, because education is made to better one's life. And wherever he is asked to, energize educational principle he has received to better the lot of people, upgrading people, uplifting people. But in Nigeria case, the more they go to school, the more they downgrade people, especially the lower masses. I was saying that even when you first start here, where it is mapped out for walkway for a road, the people who have mansion, they will put flower on it. So went and bribe FHA, they now put black soil on it and make it one walkway instead of two walkway.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the way? Is that how effective education is supposed to be?
No, madam.
Then
Thank you.
a
Your minute is up, man. Thank
Hello?
you very much. Thank you very much. Your time is up. We need to take another call. Though she spoke about education, and I remember Fela's teacher, don't teach me nonsense. If the educator himself is just as bad, what do you think is going to happen? This lack of planning has been with us only since God knows how many years. You wake up one morning and your president says your currency has been devalued by fiat overnight and throws everybody into panic. We've had loads and loads and loads of this. But hopefully over time we'll be able to sort that part of our lives out. Let's take another one. Hello, good morning. Hello?
Hello, good morning, Uncle Jimmy.
Morning.
Good morning.
Morning, sir. Please go on.
Yes, Ajibola calling. I want to say, just in addition to what you said, the caller called before the break, and the caller was talking about the subsidy issues and what the commoners enjoyed in Nigeria. And government cannot forgive but to remove the subsidy. Can we safely say that the Nigerians can no longer accommodate the lifestyle of governance? So therefore, in case where government should refuse to adjust their lifestyle, the commoners can also take to streets and ensure that we get their lifestyle adjusted without any recompense. Because that's the way it's looking.
Wait a minute.
Yes,
Wait a minute. I need to get clearance on something. What do you mean take to the streets? Okay, let's just take another caller. Please just disregard what the last man said. I don't think I quite understand. I don't believe in taking to the streets or anything like that. But let's go on to the next one. Hello, good morning. Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, morning.
Uncle Jimmy, good morning, sir.
Morning.
I respect you. Well done, sir.
Please go on.
All right. Now, you see, what the Nigerian rulers or leaders, whatever we call them, what they are lacking is the way to do things right. That's why when they travel abroad, they see people who knows the way to do things right and are committed to doing it. They like going there for medicals, whatever. But when they come here, I don't know. I don't understand. Now, what I want to tell Nigerians is this. If they want to continue to defend people, not just one person, people who claim to give what they don't have, they will defend them forever. I'm not just one particular person, not President Tinubu, but anybody who is claiming to give what he does not have. People who are defending them should be ready. I don't want to use the word that God used. If you want to defend the fool, you will have to defend him every time because he continues acting foolishly.
Okay, I don't know in what context to put that. Okay, so let's go to the next caller. Hello, good morning.
Hey, Uncle
Hey,
Jimmy.
Calvin, how now?
To God be the glory.
Yes.
I think for me, it's now clear where we're headed. So what everybody should be up to now is the survival strategy.
Yes.
How to survive these times. The great Nicola said it clearly many years ago that Nigeria was a country of pain. He wrote and sang a song about it. It is obviously clear that this is a condition of COP. So how do we survive these hard times? There's no need to go into any analysis that will lead to paralysis. We have all seen everything.
I like that.
Because somebody has said, if the Senate president can stand and tell me that he does not know how much we are consuming as a country, then what do you want me to do? Does not know how many liters we are consuming as a country. What do you want me to do? A Senate president, number 3 man. No. So Nigerians, let us brace up this time. Like for me now, I will not be using my fuel again, my AC again if I'm driving. For now, even though the songs they bad, I'm not going to use AC again for now. There are a lot of people in my lineup that I'm responsible for, directly or indirectly. So all those things now is how we are going to strategize. I know we're going to move. That is the country we have found ourselves. Let us watch and see how the days ahead goes. Thank you.
Well, Calvin, I'd like to bust your bubble. I read somewhere that is being said by those who know that the fact that you don't use your air conditioner in traffic doesn't mean you consume less fuel. So if I were you, don't, in a bid to try and save up money, run yourself into a big medical bill. I bet my brother, if the heat too much, put on your AC. But the part that he also spoke, Kevin also spoke something to the effect of those who depend on him. Aha! Those are the first casualties. Be they your relatives, be they your workers, whoever it might be. We're gradually moving to what we call downtown Ojuolomo Oto, where everybody go bear in Papa name. That's where we are moving to. Life is getting tougher and tougher and tougher. So for those who have been living on a sense of entitlement, no Kelvin, no be my bros. You're on your own, no? As we move on, you're on your own. Because over time now, there'll be less and less disposable income. Those, for example, who have domestics, 2-3 domestics, are going to have to collapse them into one. If you have a cook and steward and this, you say, okay, if the cook cannot also clean the house, make him go look for another. A lot of decisions down the line, your watchman, your this and that, trickles like that. Those are the things that bother me. Little trickles like that. Gatesman. Maybe some people now say, look, I don't need a gate man. When you press my bell, I go downstairs to open the gate. If I can't open the gate, I'll talk to you from the window. Okay, let's take another one. Let's take another call. Hello, good morning. Hello.
Hello, good morning, sir.
Morning.
This is Ola from Ajegule, sir.
Yes.
Sir, in like 3 days of this subsidy of it, since then I've been distressed. I'm distressed. Because I'm a Baba, I don't even know how to cope with this. I'm a Baba.
You're a Baba.
Ajegule for that matter.
Okay.
When we actually bought fuel like 200 naira per liter, and I got 500 naira per head. There are some elderly men that even walk into the shop that you look their condition, you look like they can't even afford to even pay that 500 naira. You have to like, okay, Baba, whatever you have, you pay. Okay, look at the situation now. I have to buy per liter, going to like 500 naira. How do I do it? How? In my own environment, I doubted it. Like maybe half of the people in the environment can be able to even afford to barb their hair 1,000 naira. I doubted it. And I look the way our president just pronounced the subsidy is gone. No, I don't think it should be like that. I know the plan is there already. But as for me, at least we are getting to the office first. Look at the plan on ground. Call some trusted people like, you know what, guys? Let's look into this properly. Let's look at the plan. Let's look, maybe probably this. That's what to do at this moment. Or probably we make sure we do some adjustment before we make the pronouncement. But it's just like, they forget. I don't know, maybe because they live in big place, they feel like everybody is that comfortable in Nigeria. And this subsidy money of it, I don't know. I know the government say they are paying it. Who are they paying it to? And let me remind you something, sir. I remember very well, maybe probably like 2 years ago, kerosene and diesel subsidy have been taken off kerosene and diesel, if I'm very correct, sir.
Yes.
I don't think they have been able to point at one or two solid things that money is being spent on. And Nigerian government have never given room to the citizens to even trust them 100%. Because I don't even know the guarantee that we can have, like, okay, after this money is taken off, then it will be properly be spent on something that like will be very feasible to the masses. Like they cannot like, okay, this is where the money is really going to, and the people is going to even benefit it in short time.
Okay.
Sincerely, sir,
no, don't be confused.
Very sad.
In the fullness of time, there'll be some.
Because I remember.
Okay, so I got to go, Oga. Please, I got to go. My time is up. 9:50. Can I take just one more call? Okay, let me take one more call. Thank you very much for your contribution.
Good morning.
Morning, quickly.
Remember the song this morning? Having disorganized communication this is Ambassador Muslim.
But make your contribution quickly. There's no time for this.
Anyhow, subsidy has gone.
Yes.
Let us replace with food security. Let no farmer and herdsman clash. Let's put an end to that. Farmer can go to farm and make products out for Nigerians. So let us replace with that one. You're not going to replace the now. So let us be food at best.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, that's where we're going to end for today. I'd like to thank you all for listening. I'll be back again tomorrow. Daily Digest with Jimi Disu will be here tomorrow by 9 o'clock. Of course, by 7:30, by His grace, I will be with Sheriff. Okay? So that's where we'll end for today. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Feta.
Thank you, sir.
God bless you all. I'll see you all tomorrow at 9. Bye.
This is The Voice Note on 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
Good day, I am Dr. Igwe Kundi, General Secretary of the Association of Resident Doctors, National Orthopedic Igbobi Lagos Chapter. I am also a senior resident in the Faculty of Orthopedics. COVID-19 is a worldwide scourge that is hitting us real hard and remains highly contagious. As a health worker, I do my best to stay safe for myself, my family, my patients, and the public. We are in the front lines in this fight and hence have a huge.
And I want to assume that you would run because I want to give the listeners context for the conversation.
In 2019, you were running mate to Atiku Abubakar. What did you learn then that you will not repeat this time?
Yes, when is the president coming out to address us?
There's a few things. One, I have a burden and a passion for young people.
The fact that you have elected a man does not mean then you begin to order him around. The president will do whatever is good for the country at any given time.
Mr. Adeshino, isn't the president responsible to the people?
What should the next president do to root out stakeholders who are complicit?
You fire those that need to be fired are fired. It's looking like a brand new Chelsea, attacking with so much fluidity. And what can you say about that, Martin? I know you follow Chelsea quite closely.
I live close to the Chelsea training ground. That's what you mean by that. I'm not.